Good afternoon. It is 1:41 in the afternoon. And yes, I went to the mini mart drugstore like I always do. It's always cheaper there. And I got me my Imodium AD since I am, yes, withdrawing from the Kratom. It's not going to be so bad because I haven't been on it like a long time. I've been on it like 7 weeks tops. It's not a month because the 12th of March would be 2 months into this Kratom journey. So it hasn't been a month. So it's been like total like 6 weeks. And it was different strains at each time. The greens, I wasn't doing it a lot after the initial withdrawal was over, or the reds. I might have tried it here and there. And then I started with the white mango dad that sent me to the moon, loved it. And then I tried the King Super, didn't work because I had risk withdrawal in my system. And I didn't write it out the 8 or 9 hours, which I normally do. I did it too late in the morning, like 12:30. It didn't hit me till 1:30 in the morning. It was just too late. And I woke up for 2 days pretty much lethargic. And that Kratom that I had didn't do anything for me. It just like didn't. So into the third day, I guess the risk withdrawal was completely coming out of my body. And I did have an issue with the yellow Kratom that I bought the first time because it knocked me on my toes, but I was up for 22 hours. So I don't care what nobody says. If you're up for more than 24 hours and think you're going to take an energy drink and think you're going to be fine, it's not going to happen, even with Kratom. It picked me up for 20 minutes and it knocked me on my feet. It was like my body said, I don't care what you put in it, you're going down. And down I went. So I got a little bit scared of it because I wasn't greedy. I just wanted to make sure that I get that boost that I needed. And no, I didn't. I went up and bang, I went down. So I had mucho respect for it because I got kind of scared. I was like, if I take that, will it keep, bringing me down like that? I was like, hell no, I can't drink that. So the other day, I didn't want to stick to the same strain. The King Super was not that King Super to me because once again, I found out the risk withdrawal was still crawling in my system. It only been 5 hours. I mean, I drank it for God bit 12:30, took me to about 1:30, go to sleep to wake up at 6. So not a good idea. Please, I'm not a doctor, but don't mix benzos or risk withdrawal or any kind of sleeping pill and then do Kratom. Not going to happen. You're going to feel the worst. And I felt the worst. So finally, after I think maybe 2.5 days it took, going into the third day, that's when I said, let me try this yellow. I'm going to give it one more try before I hang it up in the shelf and just let it go rock. Sorry. And I tried it because somebody had said it was mixed with reds. I was kind of scared of the reds during the week because if I'm at work 12 hours, I don't need the reds to knock me out. I need to be up 12 hours. But it didn't do that. So it did give me the energy boost that I needed. And then later on, after about 5.5 hours, then I started feeling the little bit of sedation, which was okay because I was at home once again. And I was happy because I thought I had a bad batch, but I know I didn't because it knocked me on my ass. It did exactly what that guy in the video said it would do. It did that to me. But the difference to me was because I was up 22 hours and I thought that was going to be a miracle. And it wasn't. It just really knocked me on my ass because my body was like, no, it's not going to happen. Unless if I had heroin, it would have been a different story. But I'm not into heroin anymore or any hard drugs like that. And so like I said, being that I was home this weekend, one thing I was noticing that when I was doing my Kratom, soon as the next day comes and it gets a certain hour for me to do my Kratom, like I'm always on a timely thing, I noticed I would get cramped stomach and right away I would get the diarrhea for no reason. So I said, okay, I overlooked that. It happened again. I said, damn, every time I take my Kratom at 10, 9:30, quarter to 10, I start getting cramps. So it was like maybe starting to be a physical addiction more than a mental one. I didn't want the Kratom, but the physical part of it was like, okay, it wasn't like begging me or nothing. I just saw that a physical part of it was I was having diarrhea behind not having that drink. Once a charm or 2 times, I said, this can't be. But it's happening to me 2 times. I said, I'm going to try it one more time. My last cup was at 10 o'clock yesterday morning. That's when I tried the yellow, and it worked fine, put me to sleep. And I also wanted to stay off the Risperdal because it scared me. It scared me. I didn't like to feel lethargic. And the more cleaner I was getting, like before I was on anything, I was on the Risperdal, and I didn't need the whole Risperdal. I would only take half, and it would do me solid. But I was taking whole since I was withdrawing. In the beginning, it wasn't doing nothing to me. No Tylenol, no. I just gave up on all kinds of sleep aids. Nothing was helping. So as time went by and weeks went by, I noticed that the Risperdal was starting to work. So that meant the detox was going fine, and I was starting to feel, once again, and the pill was working. But since that day that I did that, that was a stupid mistake on my part for getting up at 12 midnight. And I had slept all day Thursday morning, all the way till 10:30 without anything because I had no caffeine that morning and I really needed to sleep. So now it's midnight. What do? I'm going to stay up, and I was tossing and turning. Nothing really bad, but I said, I'm going back to sleep. So 12:30, I decided to take not a half Risperdal. I took a whole Risperdal, and I finally fell asleep. I was tossing and turning to about 1:25. About 1:30, I was out to get up at 6. I felt like crap. So I tried a thing of Kratom. It was a King Super. I just got it. I was like, I don't understand. I'm not doing the white Magnadine, but I'm doing the white Magnadine Super King, which is supposed to have the double alkaline. Like I said, if you're not resting, it's not going to do you any good. And it didn't do me anything. I thought I had a bad batch. I was so angry. I put it up. And my sister said, you are still lethargic from not sleeping. So I don't care if you take a super duper energy drink. You're not going to feel that your body's too tired. And it was completely true. And I waited 2.5 days. I still took the Kratom that day to work only because I needed movement. It helped me that much, but I still felt down. Even my client was like, you're not talking. I couldn't talk. I was like, I was done. My body was tired, and I still felt that Risperdal was in me. Like if I first took it the first time, and I knew how I felt, it was just too much for me. So now my body's coming back to the point where only a half a Risperdal is all I can take, which is great for me. But I said, I'm not going to do no Risperdal. And I didn't do no Risperdal Thursday morning. And I didn't do no Risperdal Friday night. Yes, Friday night. No, as a matter of fact, was it Friday night? Yeah, it was Thursday. Yeah, Friday night, 12:30, I took it. Imagine to get up later on to go to my job at 8 o'clock in the morning. I was feeling like a bag of total shit on top of shit. Even the Kratom that I did was not working. My sister said, you got to go to sleep. I was like, oh, God, I don't have time to go to sleep. So I went to work. Of course, I felt like crap. I did some Kratom, still felt like crap. So I said, my body needs a break. And there was nothing I can do. Drink water, nothing. It was a waiting game. And it took nearly 2.5 days for that Risperdal to come out of my body. And I got total respect for it because I didn't take it. And I said today's Saturday, Sunday. Yesterday, Saturday, I said, I'm not taking no Risperdal. And I took me some Calm, which my friend Matt, of course, I say with greatness, he told me to order some Calm. And I did. It's a supplement for sleeping. I took 2 teaspoons. I was out like a light. And took 2 Klonopins out like a light. Problem was, when I woke up at 4 in the morning, I don't have a problem with that, as long as I could get back to sleep. I was really feeling withdrawals, and I couldn't understand. It's not from the fucking Suboxen. It can't be. I'm going on my 48th day without touching anything. It couldn't have been the Suboxen, but they said it takes about 90 days for it to completely come out of your bones. That I can understand. But there was days that I woke up and was not feeling that way. So I was like, where is this coming from? Now, mind you, I haven't had any Kratom since 10 o'clock Saturday morning. And here it is Sunday. No, yeah. Sunday mid-morning early, and I was feeling like, oh my God. I got up. It got me up so quickly. Like, I even got scared. I was like, I can't go through this withdrawal. What is happening to me? And then when I put two and two together, I said, Ada, you haven't had any kratom since Saturday morning. And here it is, 12:30, 12 o'clock at midnight. And I was feeling so bad when I woke up at 4 in the morning. So bad. And that's when I realized that it had to be the kratom. So I took not two Risperdal. I took two Klonopins, and thank God I have them, but I'm not abusive with them. I have jars and jars of them because I don't take them. I only take them when I go to the doctors. So I took two Risperdal. That calmed me down. That took everything away. And yes, I did. I went and took 2 milligrams of Suboxen. Because if I'm going to be detoxing from the kratom, that's just my feeling. Nobody has to, I don't want nobody commenting. Keep it to yourself. Oh, you're crazy. You did 48 days clean and you still went and took a Suboxen. So what? I did it. So what? I did it for a reason. I do not want to go to 3 days. If I'm going to have the shits, I'm going to have the shits okay. That's how I feel. And I'm going through fatigue. So that's what I'm doing. I took 2 milligrams. I had taken 4 milligrams throughout the whole 48 days. And no, it didn't send me back in. I didn't grab any more Suboxen other than that 4 milligrams. So I took 2 milligrams, which usually always lasts me 3 days. If I pass these 3 days, maybe 4 days tops of the kratom withdrawal, I'm okay. I'm going to still be taking my Klonopin for the next 3 days. In case anything happened, because I don't care what nobody says. I am fucking withdrawing from kratom. I hate to say it. I ain't saying I didn't think it was going to happen, but anything that has anything to do with opiates, it said it acts as an opiate receptor, but it's not an opiate. There's something in it, folks. If it's taken too long and a long duration, it can happen. Thank God I was only maybe 2 to 3 milligrams at a time. The first few weeks was 3 cups a day. As every time I kept waking up sick, I took a cup. Every time. Sometimes 3, sometimes 4. That went on for like 2 weeks. The third week, it calmed down, and my kratom was lasting 8 to 12 hours. So naturally, I was on a cup or 2 cups from 3 or 4 cups. It went down. So then after like 5 weeks, I woke up, no more withdrawals, no more. When I say no more withdrawals, I mean no more major withdrawals. I was done. Only thing that happened after 1 week, I was totally fine. No kratom, no anything, perfect energy. And then all of a sudden, a big energy thing came down on me where I had this fatigue that was so horrible. I didn't know what to do with it. It completely took me over. It made me feel like shit. It was horrible, horrible feeling. And I kept saying to myself, is this, okay, I did the first phase. What more else do I have to do? And I read up, and some people saying one of the things you're going to go through is extreme fatigue. And it wasn't fatigue. It was extreme fatigue where it had me in bed. I'm walking my dog. The dog is walking me. And I just at one point wanted to cry because I thought, wow, the worst is over. Why do I have to continue on feeling so fucking miserable? And everybody needs energy to move around. So, I've been reading up on things to take to help me with that. That's why I did what I did with the Suboxen. Because I don't want to go to 3 days of this mess. And yes, I do have control. After this 2 milligrams, I will not do anymore. And I am a woman of my word. But in not one of these videos you can see or will hear me saying that I'm never going to touch this shit again. If I have to, I fucking will. And that's what I did this morning because I refuse to lay in this bed on my day off, having the runs all fucking day and feeling like shit. So being that it lasts 3 days, I said I'm going to take the 2 milligrams and write it out. Once I get to my 4th day, what I'll be feeling is fatigue. That's okay. My B12s are coming, which is a liquid form, which acts quicker. And I'll take it from there. No, I will not be running back to the Suboxen. I've done it before. I took 4 milligrams within 48 days. And this is the first time that I did it because I refused to go through it. No, I don't want to go through pain. No, I don't want to shit in the toilet, have a sore ass all day. No, I don't want to be miserable. It's Sunday. I want to get my housework done. You know, it gave me a little bit of energy, and the stomach ache stopped immediately. That was good. But I had 2 Imodium ADs, and then I bought this charcoal thing. I have my Imodium, which is so fucking expensive. For 24 tabs, it cost me $16.29. And they had one that had 48 tabs that was almost $25. So instead of me buying 6, I said, hey, there's going to be 3 days of diarrhea. But the Suboxen didn't stop the diarrhea. It still went through its motion. So I might as well let it go through its motion. After this cup of water, I got 2 bottles of electrolyte water. I'm going to keep drinking that for the rest of the days. I'm going to keep drinking and drinking and drinking. Then my friend told me about charcoal, but it was too late because I already had one to the drugstore and I just got the Imodium AD. But this time I saw the charcoal. See, it's probably like a, one of those brands, but it's not like a big brand. But this is what they have. Requa activated charcoal capsule dietary supplement. There was 2 I had. The difference between the other one didn't say this. This one says naturally absorbs toxins that cause phlebitis and gas, lactose free. That was something that I needed because the other one was stopping the gas and the big bloated stomach, but it was not taking care of what was causing this. So I figured this one's a little more expensive. This was $15. It says $13.97. And I figure if I take this one with, that relieves the toxins in the body, I'm all right with that. So I figure, wow, okay, it absorbs toxin that causes phlebitis. So if I nip that in the butt, I shouldn't have a friggin' problem. So that's why I says I'm going to do it that way. And I bought it all together. All this medicine cost me $32, but I didn't want to buy a 6 dose of Imodium AD because I know during the day, after it gets a certain time, my body's going to start going into the withdrawal of the kratom. And I'm only going to take 4 of the Imodium ADs, the recommended allowance. I don't go over it unless it gets really bad. I didn't want the Pepto Bismol. It's not doing anything for me. It still gives me the runs. So the Imodium, even though it's expensive, guys, is so freaking worth it. And that's what I'm doing. And the rest of the day, I'm going to be flushing out with water, cleaning up a bit. And like they say, this too shall pass. I'm still doing it. I'm into the vaping now. I so wanted to do this for so long. Today's the second day. I saved $14, even though I spent $50 on this, which I knew that was the amount that I was going to spend. I spent $50 a week in buying cigarettes at $7 a pack. Every day a pack. And if I could squeeze another pack in there, I will. But if I have 4 left before I go to work, I can do it because I only go outside 2 times during the whole 12 hours. So that was going to hold me. And the next morning, I'm right back to the same shit. It was costing me $7.49. I'm not saying that this is totally working, but it's totally curbing. I'm still getting nicotine. I bought this bottle here, which is about $20, and it's 6% of the nicotine in it. I am still doing the nicotine, but I am breaking it down. After I finish this bottle, I'm going down to the 3%. And then from the 3%, I'm going to 1%. Then after that, until I truly mentally stop it, I'm going to be vaping, just regular vape, no smoke, no nicotine. Because this bottle looks like it's going to last me about a month. I've been on the same, I filled it up to here yesterday, and I'm down to here. So not bad. And after I smoke it, it does control me for at least 45 minutes, in which in 45 minutes, I would have smoked like 4 cigarettes. So I don't know what it is. Go figure. It's still nicotine in it, but it's kind of holding me back. I know I've been trying to detox off of a lot of things. One of my main concern is that kratom. You know, um, I don't want to give the kratom community a bad rap or anything, but those who think this shit is not addictive is only fooling themselves. You know who you are. If you do enough of it in high quantities, and the longer you do it, the worse the withdrawals. So I know I'm not going to anything big or minor, but this morning scared me because I also said I needed to know the difference of what was going on with my body. Is it the Klonopin? Is it the... I'm not giving up on the Klonopin because when I took the Klonopin, it stopped everything that I was going through. And what I'm going through is the withdrawal of the kratom. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not an expert. I already kicked the worst part. Now I'm kicking the kratom. And it's not going to take me long, maybe 3 to 4 days tops. So that's where I am today. So... And I think I'm going to be truthfully honest that I'm going to go get my lottery and probably buy me 2 Lucy's. But this is what happens when you're trying to detox. Some days are harder, some days are better. But this stuff is working. I just wanted to tell you what I'm doing on my off day. I'll probably take my little booger for a walk because she's been trapped in here for 3 days. And I think she might... Hey, want to go bye-bye? I think she learned her lesson, because I sprayed the bitter apple on the floor and I put her nose in it. And I put her nose on all the plugs that she'd been chewing so she could smell it. I sprayed them. And I'm just keeping my finger crossed. But she's been doing good because I sprayed it on my tables and underneath my couches where the wooden part is. And I haven't found not one scratch of it. And I hear her scratching. The only thing she's scratching is her bed. I sprayed that bad baby too. So... she learned her lesson because I really whacked her ass. I just bought this in 15 minutes. She managed to take it off of the plug, the charger. Not only did she chew the charger in half, which is garbage. I try to strip it and put it. I just can't do it. So I've got something else to charge it with, which it works. But I wasn't too happy because if she would have grabbed my the one for the Samsung 8 note, I think we would have had serious issues. I think she would have been going back home to her mommy because she is totally destroying my stuff. So I have to teach her. And I think she got a valuable lesson today, which is don't touch my shit. And that bitter apple stuff really does work. But I didn't think she was going to attack my electronics like that. So... even though I do that, I still put my electronics high. It doesn't stop her because she still climbs. But I think that little beating that I gave her, it wasn't drastic. She didn't howl because I don't like to beat dogs to the point where they howl because that's when you're really abusing him. I gave her pow-pow in the back of her butt. I gave her pow-pow, dragged her to the spot, showed her the plug and showed her what she did. I caught her with this part off. She couldn't chew it because it was steel, but the plastic part, yeah, I find it kind of hard for her to chew on it. But you know, she could have gotten that in her mouth. She could have got nicotine in her cyst. She just, you know, she's still a baby. But I was like, oh my God, I just paid $40 for that. What are you doing to me? You know, I was like, oh no. So yes, I'm getting used to it because I just took a little inhalation and I didn't choke on it. The guy said it'd take a while, not a long time, but you'll get used to it. So today will be, I bought my last cigarettes on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It would have been $21 today because it's a pack a day. So I saved $21. So granted, $50, I'm good with. That bottle will probably last me a month and a half, which is great. I mean, it's still nicotine, which is no good. But for me, as far as the smoking concerned, I have to taper off. I can't do it completely like Suboxen. You know, and Suboxen was a serious jump for me. And I think the headaches are coming. I wish I had a blood pressure machine because one time it happened. I ran out of pills for being greedy and it was going on my 3rd day. And when they took my blood pressure, it was very, very low. And he says, whatever I put you on, you're doing too much. That's why you're not having nothing left. And on the 3rd day, I kept getting banging headaches. And I told my mother, I'm keep getting banging headaches. And they just started since I've been withdrawing. So go figure. When I take the Klonopin, it's supposed to lower your pressure. And it does that, and my headache goes away, besides the Tylenol that I do. But when I took the Klonopin this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, my head was banging. I had diarrhea, and it took the headache away. So it is supposedly for blood pressure and anxiety and all that. And if it works for that, I'm all good, because I'm really sucking the hell out of these Tylenol. It was a half a bottle, but I couldn't put 2 and 2 together and realize that the detoxing was causing me all these major headaches. And not only that, it was my pressure might have been too low or either too high. But I know when it's too low is when I don't have any Suboxen. So I really kind of did a stupid thing by jumping off. I jumped off on 6 milligrams, just totally jumped off. I did it before. I had 16 milligrams. I jumped off a whole 8, and I was fine. So my greedy ass didn't need 60 milligrams. But as an addict, you figure, oh, I get another one, I'll be all right. Wrong, folks. Stick to what works for you. Stick to what's enough is enough. Always know more is not good. More is going to make the healing process take longer. And I wish I could feel like this every day, but unfortunately, I can't do no more Suboxen. I did it today for a reason. So let's see what the next 3 days bring. If I can quietly detox off the Kratom, I'm fine. No, it's not going to make me take another Suboxen. So one doesn't send me to the moon and keep me on. I'm not like an alcoholic that I could sit at a bar knowing I'm an alcoholic and just buy one drink and think I'm all right. No. I could do the Suboxen. Right now, I'm at the point where since I detox, I could leave it or take it. So I did it today. I'm not going to apologize. I got no reason to apologize. That's just my own trip. That's my journey. And I am telling you what I'm doing. Some people might say, you're bugging for touching that shit after 48 days. I did it for a reason, to see if I could have peace of mind for 3 days. It acts out for 3 days, then I start feeling sick. If I get sick from it, it will be bullshit. It will be psychological. I've been off of it for 48 days. There's no reason if I do it once that it's going to get me addicted. That's all the psychological bullshit that you have to deal with in phase 2. And for what I learned and understand, phase 1 and phase 2 are almost the same thing, because sometimes I feel like I'm still kicking like I was in the first phase. Not as bad, but it just brings back the memories of I'm kicking. I feel like I'm kicking. This morning I was kicking, and it was from not having the Kratom. It's got to be the Kratom. It's not the fucking Suboxen. 48 days. It's not completely gone. I believe it's still in my bones. I'm not craving it, but I be not telling you the truth. If there's times when I feel pretty bad, like I felt this morning, that I would take it. I feel like that every other day, but I don't act on it every other day. But today I said I'm going to give myself a little break. I'm going to take the 2 milligrams. 2 milligrams lasts me for 3 days. I'll be fine for the next 3 days. If I can just do that, go ahead, do the shits. I got the Imodium, works fucking great. I don't have a problem with that. Okay, I'm inhaling it, and it's better than it was before. Before I was choking to death, so. And I don't want to mislead anybody or say, oh, she's trying to quit and then she's giving bad advice by taking more of, she went back after 48 days and did 2 milligrams. Yes, I did. I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm doing it for a reason. Doesn't mean that after the 3rd day I'm going to grab it, because I'm not. I did it for a reason. The body's a funny thing. I want to withdraw from Kratom. Okay. And yes, I'm funny. I just don't want no more pain. I just don't want no more pain. I've been through enough. I had a painful withdrawal with the Kratom also, because I didn't know how to properly use it. And even though when I started properly using it, I should have took a book and wrote down the times I take it, the times I start withdrawing, and which I eventually did that. And a half an hour before going into withdrawal, I would take that Kratom. And that's what I did for the last 2.5 weeks after that. I would stop the withdrawals before it started. So it became a ritual. So then after the full 5 weeks was over, I woke up one day and I was like, okay, I'm done. After a whole week of no withdrawals, the fatigue, the tiredness, all that was over. And then all of a sudden that fatigue came out of nowhere. But they say that sometimes you could be all right for a couple of weeks or 1 week or a month, and boom, that pause come back in. So mentally, I got to be ready for that, because there is no medication for when you go into pause. You might feel like you're withdrawing, but physically you're not, And then I was a little saddened by the fact when I finally researched after 4 years, which should have been done earlier, that's when I learned that buprenorphine takes longer. It had a longer acting shelf life. And I couldn't understand why people that was on certain benzos and methadone were, one girl says 7 days she was fine. And here I am 7 days puking and diarrhea and so fucked up that I couldn't even think straight. I walked my dog and my eyes were so blurry and they hurt so much. And it's hard when you're trying to take care of somebody. I would have preferred her to go back home for at least 2 months until I get myself together, because she still needed to go out for a walk. But it was not that bad, but it was bad. At least I walked and was able to get a little bit of air and move my muscles a bit because I was so stiff. But like I was saying, what I did this morning, I'm not going to apologize. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, because some people are weaker than others. They could take it today and still continue. I'm not going to do that. I did it for a reason, to see if it just gives me the Kratom withdrawals a little bit better, and which it will. But after that, I'm not going to do it anymore, And I think I'm strong enough for that, because like I said, I still carry it in my bag, and that's like, I had no hesitation this morning. I said no. It's been a week, and with that withdrawal was still lingering in me, I said I refuse to have a fucked up day today. I'm taking 2 milligrams of this. And I took the 2 milligrams, and I said, this will hold me for 3 days. And then maybe 3 or 4 days, that Kratom will be out of me. After this cup of coffee, it's going to be water for the rest of the day. Flush, 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 flush. And I got some strawberries on sale. And I got me some almond milk. And I got my protein drink, which I'm going to have about maybe 4 o'clock. I'm not going to put any hard food in my stomach. I'm not going to do that, because I'm really detoxing from the Kratom. And I don't want anything in my stomach. I'm just going to be like on a liquid thing today. It's going to be a liquid protein for the rest of the 3 or 4 days. It's going to be shakes like 3 times a day. And then maybe try to get a little broccoli and carrots. I'm going to steam some of that and eat that, so I can have at least a little something besides the protein. That's where I'm going at. And that's all I got to say to you folks. But please don't judge me on what I did. I don't have any harsh feelings behind it. I have my reasons for doing it, and I did it. It's done and it's over with. And I just want to be in peace. And I wish everybody could have a smooth sailing in this, but you'd be lying to yourself if you're not going to lay in that bed and go through it, because you're going to go through it. And the harder you go through it, what the fuck you have to do. And then suddenly you lose your friends, you lose your family, you lose everything, that you have no choice but to detox. Detoxing without anything is brutal. Some people would rather do it so they don't forget, but sometimes they forget and go back to the same thing and say, oh, fuck it, I could do it again. Who the fuck wants to go through that shit? I don't. I did it with meth, and I went brutally cold turkey. Never touched the shit again. I think I did one time, and I did it like maybe 20 milligrams of it, because I forgot something. I forgot my, I went into withdrawal from Suboxen, and I don't know what happened, my insurance or whatever. So I asked my girlfriend for that. It held me enough for 4 or 5 days. That's how my body is so wicked. So it held me enough until all my insurance got straightened up, which took about 5 days. But it did me some justice. And after that, I never touched it again. And it's been like, wow, since 1993. And this 20 milligrams happened about 5 years ago. And I was strong enough never to do it again because I know what it did to me. But that time I had to do it because I didn't want to buy heroin for the next 3 days or 5 days because I would have got addicted. That wasn't where I was going. I just needed it to help me get through the days while my insurance picked up. And it did, thank my friend, and moved on. And that's what I feel like doing, moving on. I want to go to school, but like I said, until I'm fully psychologically and mentally and physically ready to go, then I'll go. I don't want no interruptions. But I know I still got a long way to go, folks. Maybe about 6 months before I entirely get all my receptors back, where I could think clearly, where I can function clearly. You know, I'm trying my best, guys. So please don't judge me on what I did today. I don't recommend it for anybody else because I don't know anybody's weaknesses or I don't know their strengths neither. But I know where I'm at and I'm strong enough in the next 3 days not to do it again. But I did it for a reason and I think it's going to work. I'm going to give the Kratom a good 5 days to withdraw from it. But I'm not going to do it going through the sickness. I'm just not going to do that. So on that note, and on this note, which I could swallow now before I couldn't. They don't recommend swallowing, but I'm swallowing because I got the nicotine in it. But in the beginning, it was like, oh boy, it was so strong. He said, you don't need to, don't do it that way. Do it little by little till your body gets used to it. So there it goes. I spoke too soon. So I thought that it ruined, I don't know, when she took it, I thought she did something to it and it wasn't working. The first one I had to do. Bye-bye. Have a good one.